Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you're doing really well. My name's HUMNA and I share content connected to art, healing and spirituality on my channel. Today I am going to be working on this thing. I'm calling it Naqsh. Naqsh is that a kind of mark that has been placed in our souls by Allah to remind us of who He is and how we need to constantly reinforce the understanding that we belong to Allah and to Him we will return. So inside our ruh, in our soul, we have been kind of like signatured by Allah. That signature is what helps us keep connecting to Him, keep being reminded that we belong to Him. We are His masterpiece or creative, creation or whatever it is that you want to call it. So Naqsh is something that you are born with. Your whole existence has a Naqsh, a mark on you, in you, within you, around you, that is of Allah's love and mercy. And so working on that idea, I created these sessions where we work on a certain grid, and today's grid is inspired by Ya Latif. So this is the one I will be working on. These are grids that are already there on my Patreon. You can go and download them, print them and start working on your own. Each grid is infused with a lot of energy that will help you ground yourself, connect yourself to Allah and be reminded of how important it is to be really, really present. So this is inspired by Ya Latif and Ya Khabir. I'm going to read a little bit about it. I won't go into too much of the text, but I will be explaining that in my other session, which is called the Sacred Strokes, later in the day that I share before I sleep. Right now I'll work on the grid a little bit and then work on that halfway through in the other session. So you can choose to just sit back and enjoy, listen, absorb both these videos if you feel like it, and connect to these two names. So Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi Shali Sadri wa Yassir li Amri Wahlul 'Uqdatam min Lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi Zidni ilma, Rabbi Zidni ilma, Rabbi Zidni ilma. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya Latif. Al-Latif is a subtle love that reveals the finest of mysteries. To know this quality is to know the subtlest of things that are unknown and thus not limited by the finite conditioning. Ya Latif is something that Allah's gifted in each one of us, which is a kind of like a finest of mystery. Now, we all know when we need to get to a mystery or solve a mystery, we have to take certain steps, right? And one of the most important thing is that we can be like full on present and full on like going in to solve the mystery, but we can still miss the clues. So the reason there is a mystery is that it kind of magnetizes you, pulls you inside, so that you're able to have that feeling, oh, I really want to know what that answer is, or I really want to know who murdered that person. I'm just giving an example, like in movies, or I really want to know what happens in this. So there's this element of mystery within us that pulls us like magnets inside this realm of of our unknown side, like in our ruh, in our heart. Allah's placed this love, which is really, really subtle. Why He calls it love is because it attracts you to your purpose, to your inner knowing. I'll explain that in a minute. But Ya Latif is that subtle love that reveals the finest mysteries. It reveals it, like it takes you in and then it opens you to a bigger world. So when you have these sort of feelings like, I really want to know myself, or I really want to know why I behave the way I do. This is Ya Latif guiding you towards yourself, to knowing you more, and also like knowing Allah more. So it's kind of mysterious, it is really finest. And the other thing that it says is it's very subtle. So it's something that you and I can, when we're living a fast life, when we're on the go, in our autopilot lives, commitments and people and this and that, we can completely overlook it, right? And the session I did for Ya Latif is a really powerful one. It is on my Patreon. If you feel like you want to go listen to that, that's an incredible session, because I personally loved it, and it has a lot of material in it. So it will really help you understand it deeper. But like I said, I'll be doing it in the evening also, so you can listen to that also. You see, the names of Allah are such massive portals to this ocean of knowledge, ocean of grounding energy, that the more you go into it, so you could listen to one video and then go to somebody else and then go to somebody else. Every time you go and connect to a certain name, there is a sense of vastness that comes within you, because the names are so powerful. They are so incredibly powerful, that they open you, stretch you, expand you, and make your soul just sort of exude out that name. So for me, my life has completely changed with Ya Latif, when I really understood that to get to the subtle love, you have to start becoming really present. Because if you're always thinking about the future, you're always thinking about the past, you miss the present. And when you miss the present, you miss the subtle things that Allah has given us. Subtle meaning that they're so quiet, they're so little, they're so soft, that sometimes we don't even think of them as a blessing and we overlook them. So this is just the beginning of Ya Latif. And like I said, it's such an ocean. Like, I keep repeating myself because it's so vast. The subtle mystery of Al Latif is within all things. It's so lovely that Allah not only guides us to his name, but also lets us know that don't think that it's only specifically in you and me, or in a believer or non-believer. It is in all things. Al Latif is present in all things. This is a mystery that he has placed in all of us. This divine name is strongly related to the kind of knowledge brought by Ya Khabir. The magnetic centers in the body used in spiritual practices of Sufis are called lataif. So this is something that a few years ago I was researching on it. I didn't go deeper into it, but lataif are also kind of like the 7 chakra points. They are energy points inside our body, but that's the Sufi spiritual practices use lataif. I don't know much knowledge about it, but it's quite profound, to get into it. If any of you was thinking about it, and then this is your sign to go and get more connected with lataif. Al-Latif is a gentle and refined love. So amazing. He says it's gentle, meaning it's soft, it's kind, and it's refined. So he's letting us know that love actually needs to be refined. And when it is refined, it's going to be subtle and it's going to be gentle. It doesn't need to be loud. It needs to be felt in every single cell of your body. Like Allah's love needs to be felt in every single molecule of your body, your cells, like physical body cells, your every organ, and your every molecule in your soul. I always talk about layers. We are not just a body. We are not just the soul. We are actually the body, the soul, and the merging of the body and soul. So there's layers and layers of us that we need to address to get to truly know ourselves. And Allah is telling us that this kind of love that he has gifted in all of us is very gentle and it is very refined. And both of these make me feel like, okay, so this is something I need to be with myself. I need to be very gentle and very refined, with myself. I can't be crude. I can't be harsh on myself. I have to be really gentle to me. It all begins with me, right? Me as in like you yourself, like if you are not gentle with yourself, if you are not kind with yourself, and you're going around being kind to other people, then literally you are you are lying to them and to yourself, right? So if you don't like somebody and you go around being really sweet to them, oh, because you know that is how the world works, then you're actually faking that that affection. And when you fake affection, it's not real. It actually has a negative energy attached to it. You're not being pure, you're not being authentic, so you're literally activating more negativity into this world. So it's a good idea to, if you don't like somebody, be genuine and be kind to yourself by not pretending that you like them. So engage less with them, avoid conversation with them. That's way better than trying to pretend that you love them for no reason at all, because then you're producing the energy of lies into the world. And I think there's enough lies, so we need to be very conscious of how we show this beautiful love into this. How do we activate, how do we bring this love into this world? Is very subtle, it's very gentle, it's very refined, and it needs to be felt more than loudly and harshly spoken. It is the secret of kindness, tenderness, and love. Al-Latif offers a subtle strength in the taming of the nafs. Our nafs, our ego, is not something that we need to be scared of or run away from or not know how to deal. The more you get to know nafs, the more you understand the importance of it also. So it is the kind of, the nafs needs, it's kind of like, imagine it's a crazy wild horse, right? And the crazy wild horse, what does the crazy wild horse need? The more you're going to be aggressive with it, the more it's going to be aggressive with you, right? The more you're going to be like, why am I like this? The more the horse is going to be, I am like this. And so to tame your nafs, you have to go in with love. Have you ever seen, like, when they train these animals, like in movies and all, they show that you have to go bit by bit. You have to go in a way that it is so subtle that it's not even noticeable. And it is just maybe by one stroke on the head, or maybe just stand there for a while. Just be gentle with the way you tame your nafs, because it can go in the opposite direction. And so to tame the nafs, Al-Latif offers us a remedy that when you connect to Al-Latif, Ya Latif, either one, you are actually trying to tame the nafs in a way that the nafs is able to submit to you. It is the most essential quality for human beings in developing a refined character and a harmonious manner in all relationships. This is a great name if you want to bring more harmony into your relationships with people and, your own self. I see or hear a lot and have gone through, because I come from that, Indian, Pakistani, South Asian communities. A lot of parents are extremely abusive with the way they speak to their children, or the children speak to their parents, or there's this physical abuse that goes on that's taken as, training the children. If you suffer from any kind of anger that makes you feel very powerful and you go around abusing others, this name will help you calm down. This name will remind you of being subtle, soft, gentle, kind. And it's a beautiful name to gift somebody. If you feel like you meet somebody who's always angry, who's beating their children up. I am so against this whole beating culture for the sake of training. If Allah Himself is saying, I am Ya Latif, He is telling us that act of showing power to somebody who is powerless, who is under you, beneath you, and in your, care, you're the caretaker of it, and you go and beat it. That's your nafs. That's, you think you are so powerful that you can go and beat a child, somebody who can't turn to you. Is not something that you can't tame. You can, and that is through Ya Latif. So you start reciting Ya Latif for your coarseness of ego. It brings gracefulness, resiliency, and softening of your defensive behaviors and rigidities. The reason we abuse another being is because we feel powerful, and B, we want to have a say because we don't feel heard. So to tame this kind of attitude, behavior, when you start connecting to Ya Latif, you recognize that Allah in His subtle ways loves you. When you fill your cup up with the subtle, beautiful, kind, compassionate love inside you, that's what you will be able to give other people. So always, always, the names of Allah are not something that you go and start thinking I am now gonna be Ya Latif, or with other people. The first focus needs to be, you have to embody this subtle love towards yourself. You have to turn to you and say, where are the places where I need to sit with myself and give myself that love which I deserve. Because that's what Allah is giving you. He has gifted you, Ya Latif, inside of you. Why? Because you're worth it, right? He wants you to feel Ya Latif inside you. How are you going to reinforce that in your physical reality? Is by turning that Ya Latif inwards towards you. Allah is loving you, and so choose to love yourself in the way that Ya Latif needs and wants to love you. So before you start loving others outside of you and talking to other people nicely, start talking to your inside self nicely. Al-Khabir, Ya Khabir. Al-Khabir includes the whole realm of inner knowledge. It is the depth of insight that penetrates into the most secret and buried places of the earth. Root forms of the word mean to till the soil and a field where a tree is growing. Part of its inner meaning involves being tested to get to the depth of the secret. Al-Khabir is very closely related in meaning to Al-Latif, and they frequently are paired in Quran. We need to combine the skillful knowing of Al-Khabir with the refinement of Al-Latif to uncover the subtle mysteries of knowledge. Reciting Ya Latif and Ya Khabir is helpful to this end. The rest of it goes into Shahid, so I won't go into that, but so far that's what it is. So imagine that there is a little tiny grain of mystery inside you that pulls you. It's a beautiful mystery. So imagine that this is inside your ruh, right? Now inside your ruh, imagine like this is like a little microscopic thing going inside your body's energy. Inside your ruh, this inner circle is Ya Latif. So this is something Allah's hidden. It's a soft love that is hidden inside each one of us. So this internal circle, some have flowers, some are empty. You can fill them up with whatever you like, of course. Now this is your inner. So like I said, this is your window into your ruh, right? So these are little beautiful flowers sitting inside, and now to travel to these flowers, so these are mystery, right? They're hidden. This is Ya Latif. It's so subtle, it's so soft, it's so gentle that sometimes we overlook it because it's hidden inside us, each one of us, right? And to travel to this mystery, to uncover it, to reveal it, we need the inner knowledge, meaning Ya Khabir. So if you look at the outside circle, you have to travel these different realms to get to Ya Latif. So to travel that, you have to sit with yourself, you have to connect to that inner knowledge. Inner knowledge is the knowing, the deep knowing of you belonging to your creator. That knowing, that truth, that thing that you know that you belong to your creator, that's this Ya Khabir, the inner knowing. When you make an effort to get to know that you belong to Allah, has layers and layers and layers of healing, you will go towards the subtle love. You'll start unfolding like, oh my God, that's also what he said. So when you go into your inner knowledge, meaning when you connect to your ruh, your inner compass of knowledge, the source of knowledge, your ruh, you go into this big molecule of Ya Khabir, and the only way you do that is because Ya Latif, which is the hidden mystery, pulls you inside. But Ya Khabir is the one who gives you, okay, from this realm to this realm, what you're going to do. From this realm to this realm, what you're going to do. So Ya Khabir helps you go inwards towards this mysterious love of Ya Latif. But it is Ya Latif that actually has the magnetic power to pull you in, to make you curious. That is his love. If he didn't put this little mystery, Ya Latif, inside each one of us in our souls, we would never turn to inwards. We would never look at the little subtle things that he has given us. I sat with this understanding. I was like, Acha Lamia, what is it that you want me to think of Ya Latif in today's time, like right now, in this moment, as I'm sitting here? And the word that came through was freedom. And I was like, okay, Ya Latif gives me freedom. Freedom of what? Right? And as a human being, I have the freedom to smell. My nose is not blocked. If there is a beautiful essence of rose or of lavender or of magnolia or of like whatever, my nose is not like stopped. It doesn't have a gate. I'm going to only smell at this time to this time and not smell ever, right? So I have the freedom. I don't even value that. Like, it's so subtle. It's so like when I'm cooking food or I'm smell, like because of the smell, I sometimes find out if the milk is rotten or the yogurt is not good. It's because it's so subtle. The essence, the smell. Sometimes I overlook it. Like, I just kind of live through my life using the sense of smell, but not recognizing that that is Ya Latif. It is because of my smell I'm able to smell beautiful essence, like that calming essence of lavender. I'm able to smell the food. I'm able to smell if something is rotten. I'm able to smell, like, if my child has done a poo in the pamper. I'm able to smell like it's time to change the rubbish bin. That's like always for me, right? So it is the smell, and so subtle, it's so for granted, that if I was not aware of this, that this is a gift from Allah, I would just be like using it like I have used it in the past without the awareness, and it's just a sense, right? But when you connect Ya Latif to it, it is that subtle love that Allah has for us, that He gave us the freedom to smell. Now you can channel this into other aspects also, like, taste, touch, smell, seeing. Your eyes aren't like, there's no like veil that comes, okay, this is haram, and suddenly you will have that veil and you'll be like, no, 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 I won't be looking. That's your nafs that you control and say, no, I don't want to look at anything bad because it's not good for me. But in reality, you do have the freedom. You have the freedom to taste, you have the freedom to smell, you have the freedom to touch, you have the freedom to hear, you have the freedom to see, you have the freedom to do all of these things through your senses. And you could not do them if you didn't have Ya Latif. So it is so subtle that we take it for granted. We don't even stop to acknowledge that the reason I'm being able to smell the pakoras while I'm fasting and getting excited about my iftari is because of Ya Latif. And so every time now you smell something exciting or beautiful, just connect it to Ya Latif. That is how subtle Allah is. He's given us things that we take for granted and don't even like acknowledge. So because of the smell that He has given you, a whole world of Ya Khabir opens, because it's the inner knowledge. It makes you feel a certain way. It is because of this subtle gift that that we use every single day of our lives, that Ya Khabir pulls, like, we have to go through, oh, this is that smell, oh, the inner knowledge, like, oh, Allah gave me this smell so that I could feel a certain way, so you go to the next step. I'm just giving you an example here, right? So Ya Khabir takes you in, but it could not take you in. You could not go into Ya Khabir if you didn't have Ya Latif. It is Ya Latif who is the mystery. That's that molecule, that little element of subtleness, the sense of smell, which helps you understand all of the layers of Ya Khabir. I mean, all meaning like whichever ones Allah wants to unfold. So that's kind of like the and I'm gonna call this one a mystery, right? What this means is, I just heard mastery to mystery, mystery to mastery, mastery. I'm going to write this down. And then later on, I'll work it out. Mystery. It is the mystery that pulls you in like a magnet to make you a master of your inner knowledge, inner world. So, mystery to mastery. I don't know. That doesn't make sense in English, but I'm just going to go with it, right? And so, yeah, Latif, yeah, Khabir. I just heard ki not everything has to make sense, you know, like everything we understand, but because we go to school, we've all been trained to say, oh, this doesn't make sense, this is not right, that is not right, this is how it needs to be, that's the right way of writing a letter, you know, all those. Do you remember, like, when you write the name and then you write dear sir, and then you write, first you have to write the address on the, it always used to confuse me, like, why does this have to be in this format, and then the paragraph and the next paragraph, and every paragraph has a certain way you do the introduction, and you, who did this, who wrote this, who wants us to do this? It's like a controlled way of expressing yourself. It has to be done in that way. I'm not saying you break it apart, but I'm just saying, when you question, when you observe, when you see these things, you kind of think, okay, it's just so that you can be in the flow of the world, but it's not the end. That you can change the format of the letter, right? There is no format in an email. And then you come down to the WhatsApp. Like, imagine your parents writing the letter in that format, and then suddenly there was emails, and then suddenly there's this, you know, WhatsApp messages. So every time it changes. There's no like standard to this is how it needs to be. And that's where we create a world of magic, of mystery, as to, I don't know if this is the only way to do it, I don't know. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start with Ya Latif, meaning the inner circles. I'm gonna focus on the inner circles only. I like doing one element at a time. What this does is it brings me this clarity to really focus that Allah has created within me a mystery, and that mystery is what pulls me to want to know more about my soul, wants to guides me to know more about this part of me. So I'm just going to focus on Ya Latif at the moment. But as I do my zikr, I'm going to say Ya Latif, Ya Khabir. Ya Latif, Ya Khabir. Now you can write these words down, or you can just enjoy seeing the piece unfold. Totally up to you. The reason there's a beautiful flower in there is because it's so present in all of us. It's everywhere. It's not hidden. It is inside, but it is kind of like a mystery, an unknown. How the petals will come out, which one will come out, what color will it be. We kind of know we're buying the red roses, right? But what shade of red will it be when it comes out, and all that sort of stuff. So there's always this little mystery of the unknown, which is what gets us hooked, you know. I don't know what it will be, but let's see. It's kind of like the trailer. So you watch the trailer and then you get guided to what the movie is about. It's the mystery, it's that little seed that Allah places inside us that makes us curious to want to watch the whole movie, to want to jump into our soul and say, hang on, what am I all about? What is it within me that is calling me? So this is Ya Latif. I'll probably do Ya Khabir in the next video, so you can join me there if you like. There's so much peace in just being still, with the understanding that within me there is this flower that He has placed, and my whole life, my journey as a soul on this planet is to go and get that flower, is to experience that subtle love all around me. That's why it was flowers, because it's all around us. It's the gift of Allah. It's the love of Allah that at times we will not be able to grasp or see or experience if we are living too fast a life, if we're not still. Ya Latif, Ya Khabir. I like how the flowers have different petals, and they're of different sizes, but yet they remain the same. And so that's like in all of us, we all have Ya Latif in different ways, in different formats, in different, whatever it is that Allah wants us to have. Ya Latif, Ya Khabir. I really, really hope. I'm just doing Ya Latif at the moment. And like I said, I will go on to the next video for my sacred strokes, so you can go and check that out. But I will explain how Ya Khabir I will be doing, so you can all do it with me, or you can find a way of doing it yourself. That's also okay. The whole understanding and idea of doing art together as ibadat is to come into a safe space where we have these grids, or if you want to do it without a grid, that's cool also. It's just coming together to connect to Allah in a more creative way through our creativity. So there's no right or wrong. I felt like a moment of puzzle, like where is the next one? So how is Allah going to show me Ya Latif in my own life? I'll have to kind of try to get to it. Sometimes it's actually really nice to just be still and go into spaces of silence where you can just experience the forms through your eyes. So this is a window into your soul. And the soul is marked with Ya Latif inside of you. Now, if you don't have the grid, you can also, of course, just create a pattern like this. But if you want to download them, like I said, you can go onto my Patreon and have a look and get it from there. I hope you got some deeper understanding of Ya Latif today. If you did, leave me a comment, connect with me. It's a beautiful way of energy exchange when we leave a comment or like, share and subscribe. That way we're helping Allah's light be reaching those who need to. At times we don't know who we need to get to and who would need our light, so it's a good idea to keep sharing things. There's so many times people share quotes and stuff like that, and I always wonder, why aren't we sharing more about Allah? So if that's something you feel you'd like to be part of, then please do share it with whoever you feel you'd like to. Now for Ya Khabir, I'm going to, because for me Ya Khabir is the inner knowledge, but it is this pull that gets me to it, right? So this is kind of like a magnet, a mystery that makes me curious enough to want to know my soul, want to know my Allah. So I'm going to, it's protected. So I'm going to create a circle here and protect my love, because sometimes it doesn't have to be loud. I don't need to scream that I love someone. It's a beautiful understanding that we have, and so I'm protecting my Ya Latif. I wonder if it's me protecting or it is Allah who has protected Ya Latif in a way that it's also protected from our own nafs. There's a song, I think it was Rockstar or something. It says Mujhko mujhse riha kar, you know. It's that kind of feeling that sometimes the love that we need, for that love we really have to let go of our old layers of understanding, and that is the pull of Ya Latif is so strong that you keep going inwards and you start unlayering where all Allah loves you and how you and I have overlooked that love because it was so subtle. And the more we get pulled into that love, the more we kind of have that, there's more unfolding of Ya Khabir that happens. The inner knowledge starts unveiling itself as we dive deeper into this Ya Latif. It's kind of like, diving into the ocean, like towards the pearl, and then Allah, guiding us. You have to have that desire to get to know Ya Latif, to get to that pearl. You have to have that incentive. The mystery has to be intriguing enough. You have to be curious enough to get to the shore, no, to the ocean's bottom, to get to Ya Latif. And while you are going down into the ocean, you start seeing different creatures around you and exploring the internal knowledge, like internal world. Because if you're standing up on the shore, you won't be able to see the whole of Ya Khabir, right? You're like, oh yeah, there's a pearl down there, okay. But to travel to Ya Latif, to make it be seen, to make it be felt, you have to make an effort, right? And that effort that you make to get to Ya Latif, that subtle, beautiful love that Allah has placed in you and me, to get to that love, we unveil the whole ocean and the creatures inside the ocean, the insights we get from there. I love how art can just transport you into a different world. Suddenly I'm under the oceans. And when I'm thinking about the ocean, I'm thinking about Hazrat Yunus, and I'm thinking about how he had to go into the fish's stomach, and how for me always the whale has been emotional being, representing the ocean. The water is always the emotional body of ours. And then if you think about the emotional body, you are actually 70% water inside of you. You think you are matter, but actually you're 70% water. So you have a lot of emotions within you that we don't even know. We just know the organs, we just know the things like the veins and the arteries and the blood, but we don't know the water content in our body, and how clean is the water content in our body. What is the water, what are the molecules of water within us carrying? Is it purity? Is it calmness? Is it peace? Or is it agitation? What state of water is the water in my body? To get to that knowledge, Ya Latif makes me curious to find out, hang on, I really want to know the state of the water. And so he puts that mystery inside me, and then I will sit with myself. It is that little seed of mystery. Like, if it wasn't mysterious, I wouldn't get curious, right? I want to know more about my Ruh. And so I journey within me. Thanks to Ya Latif, he has that invisible pulling magnet thing that pulls me inside my Ruh, so that I can travel and find out who Ya Khabir is, because Ya Khabir is the knowledge of inner world, of my inner soul's ocean. Allah created inside me to get to know my Ruh. I have to be curious enough to know it. I really hope you enjoyed the session. If you did, let me know. And I will continue working on this in my next video, which will be in Sacred Strokes. It's just a playlist next to this one. You can go check it out. I will inshallah be doing this again tomorrow. So Naqsh happens on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursdays during Ramzan. So I'll try my best to put them up at around 10 or 11, but if I'm late, I apologize. But you'll always have something to be inspired by on the channel, as there's lots and lots of videos already there, and there's lots of content on Patreon if that's something that you'd like to do. 7 days when you join are going to be free, so you can explore if you want to keep the membership or not. Every session on my Patreon is a game changer. My life when I did all of this has changed, has grounded me, has made me a better human being, and really helped me build my God consciousness and connect to my Allah at deeper levels. And that's my whole intention, and my life's purpose is to make people aware of His love, is to be of how we've been told about Allah. And when you get to know Allah through His names, it's not the same Allah as the world portrays Him to be. And that's kind of like, for me, it was a lot of breaking of idols. My vision became very clear when I started connecting to the names of Allah. Because you see, you cannot worship Allah till you truly know who He is. And once you know who He truly is, there's no other person. There's no other entity worth worshipping. Because that faith that comes in the knowing, it's so strong. The pull is so incredibly strong. He makes Himself be known to you in so many ways that you don't have that option of like, do I worship Him? Is He still worthy of worship? There's no doubts in who Allah is, and that's when you start living your life fully. We've all been living life, yes, but when it's not with Allah, not with His names, not with His guidance, not with connecting to Him, it's a life, yes, but it's not awakened. You're dead. That's how I felt like in my own journey. Of the moment I connected to the names of Allah and recognizing who my Creator is, my life completely changed. In the best ways. It wasn't hard, it wasn't easy, but it was so worth it. I would do it over and over again if that's what's going to get me closer to my Allah. I would let go of all that is dunya for Him as many times as I need to. I really, really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like I say, let me know. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video, inshallah ta'ala. Take care. Allah Hafiz.